So this is the dice game question from the bottom of page 10 in our random variables and expected value lesson. So we've got a dice game with, looks like we've got a regular dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we get no points for rolling a 1, 2 or a 3, 5 points if we get a 4 and a 5, and a jackpot of 50 if we get a 6. The first thing that would be worth doing is drawing out a table showing how the probabilities and the outcomes are distributed. So let's have our little table. Okay, we're going to use capital X to stand for our random variable. What values can our random variable take? What values can our random variable take? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are what we can roll. What values are assigned to those? 5 for 4 or 5, 50 for a 6. What about 1, 2, 3? 0. Right. So those are all of our possibilities. Right. We need to write down what the probability is for each of them. So the probability of getting a 0 or ending up with 0 points. Half. Yeah. Probability of getting 5 points. 1/3. Yeah. And the probability of getting 50 points. 1/6. And just check that they add up to a whole. Because we've rounded them all, that's a bit more challenging, but yeah, they do all add up. So that's our probability distribution, and that allows us to find the expected outcome and determine whether this game is fair or not. Although, actually, can we determine if the game is fair?
We don't know the price.
We don't know the price, so this would be a way of setting a price to make it fair, or figuring out what to set it to make people want to play it, but for you to still make money. So to find the expected outcome, we can multiply each of these together and then add the 3 values. So expected outcome of x is 0 times a half, 5 times a third, and 50 times 1/6. Which I believe comes to 10. Yeah? So if we wanted to make this a fair game, and rather than points it were tokens in your game or euros or whatever, you would set it at $10 or 10 euros or whatever it is that you're using. If you wanted to make it something that people would want to play probably, but you'd still make money, you might go for something like 9 as the entry fee. Yeah, Jonathan.
The expected balance, you need to assign it a currency like $10 or?
No, you don't.
Just leave it as.
I guess you could say this should be 10 points. Yeah. So, as in, should it have a unit?
Yeah.
I suppose it should have a unit. Yeah. Okay. So I think points would be appropriate here. Yeah. If you have a lot of different possible outcomes, like here we've only got 3, 0, 5, and 50. But maybe there's a setup which is much more complicated where you've got a lot of them. You could use your calculator to do all of this. So to do all this multiplying and adding. What you would need to do depends slightly on your calculator. And it'd probably be easiest if I show each of you individually. I'm going to stop this because Lasse does not have the old calculator.